everybody, I'm Zenith Warrior, and welcome back to the Prince of Persia live stream. There are a couple of things that we're gonna update you with before we begin. There's a few things that that happened last time that were changed around. First of all, last time I was trying to capture the footage as I played because, as I said, I wanted to actually do this kind of as a retrospective. I'm trying to do a video like Super Butter Buns, Do You Remember videos, and so it's just, I wanted to capture and stream at the same time, and she told me a setup that she was using to capture and stream at the same time. Now, that didn't quite work, simply because I don't have a dual monitor setup, and it was a little bit taxing on my computer, and so, like, it didn't capture from the start, and I was having problems there. But I decided I'm gonna either do one of two things. I'm gonna take footage either directly from the stream, in which case, you know, the stream itself would be fine, or I'm going to record separately on my own time. Either way, that's fine, but right now, I did change a lot of the setup. So the video you're seeing is directly from the Elgato. We actually have sound this time, and I worked a little bit with the volume and audio, and I have the chat up and running. So things have changed since last stream. I actually have the setup working in progress now, which is good. Everything's set up. But because of that, I actually wanted to showcase the video game audio for those watching on YouTube and watching in the stream. You know, I want to make sure that you guys get to enjoy this as much as I am. Granted, I can't hear the sound through my speakers. I need to get an audio splitter so I can do that. But I've played this game so many times, I know what's going on. I want you guys to experience this game as well. So, we're going to rewind time. I'm not going to get rid of the first session, but we're going to rewind back to the beginning of the game. The rest of the stream didn't happen. Hey, Writer's Block, thanks for the follow. But yeah, so we're going.
You know he's here, right?
Yes, I just didn't. I know he's in the chat. I wanted.
No, he's in the call.
Well, yeah, he's in the call too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to restart this. Rosen, Writer's Block, and Max Bao have been joining us. Rosen was here last time when we were just kind of experimenting with the Prince of Persia stream. But yeah, we're gonna start over again. I'm sorry for the trouble last time. I was trying something new, and dear God, Chiaki, if you disrupt the stream, I swear to God.
You will continue to love that cat more than ever.
Yes, I will. But anyway, so welcome back to the Prince of Persia stream, Redux. And so while we get this set up, while we start, let me tell you about the week I've been having, because oh god, this week. So you guys probably know, but we had a thunderstorm, not a thunderstorm, a snowstorm on Monday. Well, because of that, I lost a day of work because they decided, hey, we're going to cancel work. And hold on, my cat is climbing things in the background. I'll be right. No, she's fine now. This cat, I swear. But yeah, so we had a snowstorm on Monday. I lost a day of work. So that means a day less of pay because I'm not full time yet. I'm going to be full time. Let's see. I'm gonna be full time next month, but so that's a day of work lost. Tuesday, after like dealing with all of the snow on my car and getting it all shoveled out, I went to work and the machines were having all these problems and no one was there. It was basically me and one other person, so that was not fun. Wednesday, I got woken up at 10 to move my car because I still hadn't plowed until Wednesday. And then, so that was like Wednesday. I was so tired. I had all this stuff going on. Thursday, electrolysis, getting stabbed in the neck for half an hour. And then Friday, somebody tried to run me down with their car. I was driving, pretty much going in a straight line, you know, driving normally, and somebody tried to turn into me, into the driver's side of my car. Swerved just in time. I was also dealing with, like, a bunch of different channels trying to upload my videos without permission and steal my content, including one who uploaded all the Disney debates at once. That was not a fun day. And then today, to culminate everything, I had a person, there's a crazy person who's living in the apartment across from me. So she talks to herself constantly, the same thing over and over about her father, and she walks through the halls in her nightgown. I have complained already to the leasing office, and they never got back to me. And then I tried calling them again today. They didn't answer, and I called like 15 times. And this person, I eventually went over and I shouted at her, like, shut the fuck up. I went back into my apartment. She continued. Now, her apartment is open. Like, she leaves her door open, which is the weirdest thing. Like, she has her door open 24/7 while she's doing this. Anyone can get into her apartment. And I could hear it with my door closed inside my apartment, even when, like, I went over a second time, told her to shut up, close your door, just dear God. She finally did it, but I could still hear her from inside her apartment. And, I waited like 3 hours. I was about ready to call the cops. Granted, she stopped before I did, but, like, this has been my week. The only solace I've had, the only peace I've had for the past week has been, friggin' playing Kingdom Hearts. And that was fun, although I'm dealing with the Ultima Weapon and Synthesis, which is kind of bullshit. But even that was less stressful than my week. So, that's my week. But anyway, how's it going, guys?
It's all right.
It's okay.
I still have a pulse.
So yeah, we're starting a new game of Prince of Persia. The audio's up, and we're going. We're good to go.
Joygasms.
Yeah.
Incidentally enough, this was one of my favorite ones.
I think the first, well, not the first one, because the first Prince of Persia was like the old school PC game, which I believe is included in this as an Easter egg. But this game is one of the best. It hasn't aged well graphics wise because unfortunately they didn't remaster it that well. Like, I get it. It's a PS2 era game. You can only do so much, but look at Kingdom Hearts comparatively. Like, granted they lost a lot of their assets and they had to recreate it from the ground up, but here you can tell, even in this cutscene, like, you can tell that this is a very, like, older model, like, older cutscene game. It's just, like, that's the only thing that I don't think has aged well. I don't think the cutscenes and the polygons have aged well. I think the gameplay is still really good. Granted, there's a couple glitches here and there, but overall, like, this is the best game out of the three.
Right now, as far as like games of 3, I'm actually waiting for Darksiders 3. I'm like so hyped for it right now.
I need to play Darksiders 1 and 2. I actually I played the first game a little bit, but I remember putting it down. Not because I didn't like the game, but I think I was having trouble with one of the trophies. Oh yeah, it was one of the trophies that was giving me a lot of crap, and I finally got it, and I was so exhausted that I stopped playing for a little bit, and then I never picked it back up. It was the one halfway through the game where I think you have to kill a certain amount of enemies in a certain section.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, the trophy that like is the most annoying, and it's just yeah.
Yeah, because one of the things I loved about Darksiders 2 is it reminded me a lot of this game because of all the parkour stuff you do in it.
Yeah, like it definitely combined a lot of elements from other games, and I know a lot of people were kind of against that because they said it made it lose its identity. But what I liked about it was that it was reminiscent of those games. I think there's something to be said about homage versus ripoff. And I think a lot of games don't get enough credit for what they're doing. Like Darksiders gets the shaft for, like, they say it's Zelda meets Prince of Persia meets this, and I'm like, that was fine in the PS2 era. A lot of games did that sort of thing. Like they would homage other series.
Yeah. Well, see, the first Darksiders, to me, felt like just a darker Zelda, and I loved it. I loved for the fact of everything you could do in it. The second one is, kind of a darker Prince of Persia in a sense, but there were other elements into it. But another thing you got to keep in mind, too, is each incarnation of, the aspects, war, death, pestilence, and so on and so forth, their play styles are going to be different. They had to set them up a certain way.
Mm-hmm. And I like that. Like I do love the setting and the atmosphere. And again, it was just that trophy that stopped me playing. It was not a bad game. One thing I just noticed in the cutscene where he puts away his weapons, they animated it the same way every time, but he doesn't have a dagger, so he puts away nothing.
Yeah.
Or he puts the sword directly into his leg.
Hey, Petros, how's it going? Everybody watching this right now, Petros is a good friend of mine. He does a show on YouTube called My Life as a Video Game. He's been my friend for years, and he's really, really awesome. He does his own streams and stuff, so check that out. I do auto-host his streams whenever possible. But yeah, Darksiders, like, I should probably stream that at some point. I have the first game, I don't have the second game. Another game that I've been wanting to play, but the reason I stopped was because it was very hard and frustrating. The Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
That game I played in college, right? And I remember I would die so easily so many times. It was like the Dark Souls of that era. And I know that's a big comparison, but like that actually like is how it played. You go through a section, you had to be very careful because people could kill you so easily, and but it was still fun. I had such trouble playing it at that time when I still wasn't very good at games. Like I've gotten a lot better over the years, but the Darkness the Darkness was like, it was a game that made me tear my hair out. And when I was playing, like, my friend and I have a saying now called "crap damn it," because I was playing the games and I was just like, crap, like trying to get through the section, like, crap damn it, like. So that's how hard it is. It's one of those games that requires patience.
Isn't the Darkness the one that's that first person shooter that has like the shadow leeches on you, or is my thinking the other one?
Yeah, the shadow leeches. You have the shadow tentacles. And
okay.
Petros, I hope you're like at the hospital. I hope you're all right. Like, everything okay? Yeah, that was the one where you had the shadow demons on your shoulders, and you had to use them to bite people's heads off. Like, it was based on a comic book. And
yeah, I've read some of the comic.
It was really interesting. It was just really hard. I think needlessly hard, but at the same time, I do think a challenge is necessary sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah, the comic is actually in the same universe as the Witchblade comics. Well, the '90s Witchblade. from the original Darkness. But when they did the game, it was more like, here's the background story of the character, not, oh, we're just throwing you in. I think it's like the first 2 arcs of the comic kind of summed up in the first game and the second game.
Hold on 1 second. Chiaki! Stop. She's like playing with something and making all this noise. I apologize for my kitten. She is very rambunctious, and I need to find a way to get her to stop attacking everything. Also, we have 6 people in the chat. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're playing some Prince of Persia and talking about video games and Darksiders and stuff. Also, yeah, if you guys want to follow the stream, I'm trying to reach the path to affiliate, and I'm very, very close. I only need, like, I want to say maybe 10 more followers or 15 or so. But, yeah, like, we're very, very close to affiliate. So, hit that follow button if you like what you see. We're going to have some fun. We're going to rewind some time. And, yeah. We're gonna...
Lots of mulligan.
Lots of mulligan. There's gonna be some booze. It's gonna be fun.
Well, it is that day.
It is St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
So let's celebrate by playing this game about Persia.
Yes. Let's see, how do you get your virtual girlfriend to stop rejecting me? I'm not rejecting you. Unless you're talking about Doki Doki Literature Club, in which case...
Yeah.
Just embrace the Monica. It's coming anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. Just say the things that she wants to hear. But mean them. You have to mean them. If you don't mean them, then you'll lose her. Kitty, stop making that noise. I don't want to have to pull you from the stream like I normally do.
I think you might have to. She's like, no.
All right. Hold on 1 second, guys. She's making too much noise. I don't know if you can hear it in the stream, but I would rather not have her doing this the whole stream. All right. Yeah. Ari, We're gonna be streaming Doki Doki at AB, so I don't even know. I've heard some things about that game.
What do you don't know about it?
I'm trying to go in as blind as possible because everyone's saying like it's one of those games.
Yeah, it is one of those games.
Like it reminds me of how things were with not just Undertale, but like what's it called? With Zero Escape. And Danganronpa, like you really have to go in blind, like
this one especially. And I do have one thing to tell you though.
And what's that?
If you can have the file folder open in a separate window.
Yeah, you did tell me about that at least.
And glance at that from time to time because the game does stuff with it. I'm not gonna say what, but stuff.
Is it kind of like Undertale? Don't tell me, but like, I know that's weird, but you know how Undertale kind of messed with you in that way?
Oh yeah, it messes with you in that way, and that's all I'll say.
Okay, thank you. It's very hard because I don't want to be spoiled, and I know people like know that. It's just when you want to talk about those type of games.
There is one thing I have to warn you about.
And what's that?
There is some triggering imagery in the game, and I'm not like it's really, really heavy stuff.
And kind of disturbing.
Yeah, just be aware. They give you the warning up front, but be aware.
Okay. Well, I will say this. I may stream it on my own channel after we play a little bit here, but it's like right now, the current games that I'm planning to stream on my channel, now that I'm trying to get a regular stream schedule going on the weekends, I'm going to be doing Prince of Persia regularly every Saturday. It's not going to take me long to finish it, but there's 5 different games, and so we're going to work on that.
Kind of like what Team 4 Star does with like Metal Gear and Kingdom Hearts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday, I'm going to try to, like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this right away, but ever since I started watching Johnny's stream on Final Fantasy XIV, I've been wanting to play that game again because I love that game to death, and I just haven't had a lot of time to play it. And then I'm going to try Mondays for Kingdom Hearts. And Kingdom Hearts, I'm actually almost done with the game. I'm just doing, like, end game stuff now. And that's going to give way to Chain of Memories. That's my current plan. I'm not sure if that's going to change. But right now, that's what I'm going to try, at least.
Yeah. One thing I thought about for the Doki video, be sure to... This is when you're going to want to do a highlights video on for YouTube. Not watch it, but I mean after you finish the game,
yeah,
like, you might want to make, because there's going to be highlights. I'm just telling you now.
There's certainly going to be highlights. There's a few things I need to figure out with Twitch. There's a few things I need to figure out with Twitch regarding stuff like that, because I know, like, you can clip stuff, but I don't know how to do that.
Do you not wait? Okay. Do you know how to record from your PC?
Directly from my PC?
Yeah, because if you have OBS Studio, it's built in.
Yes, I do. I do have OBS.
Yeah, then it should be built into your OBS.
Okay.
You just gotta make sure you hit start recording before start streaming.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the order doesn't matter. Just be sure to hit both.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Because, like, the other stream, actually a couple of the streams with Kingdom Hearts, Goofy has given such really memorable moments.
Yeah, if you record these streams that way, you'll be able to have them as flash files, and then you can convert them.
Okay. Or I can just, like, do stuff later. I'll figure that out.
Basically, you'll have it for later.
Mm-hmm.
And you might want to also, when you're playing Doki Doki, make sure you do multiple saves.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would recommend getting one or two people to help you with the voices, because, you know, it's a very voice-heavy game, and you don't want to exhaust yourself.
Yeah, I know. I found that out with Danganronpa. 16 voices is not very easy.
I mean, if I'm around, I'd be happy to help.
Certainly.
Same with me.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know now that I have a regular stream schedule. The only reason why I haven't been doing this as often was because moving took so long.
Yeah, that kind of happens.
Mm-hmm. And also, now that I have this as easy recordings, like, I've basically been putting them on YouTube after the streams, with the exception of Kingdom Hearts, simply because, like, I'm trying to I'm trying to upload the older files. All right. Yeah, but yeah, that's how I'm planning to do things with the stream.
If you want to know how I do the streams with the other people, like when I have guests, usually because I stream with Casey, what I will do is I'll have the game. I'll call them both on Discord and Skype, but I'll mute the Skype call because the Skype call is just to show the window that is the game.
Oh, okay. You don't do, like, a Rabbit or something like that, or?
The thing is, Rabbit only shows videos. It's not
audio.
Like,
yeah, there's two things that I need to figure out myself. What you just said makes sense for, like, getting people caught up with a stream. I know some streamers don't do that.
Well, it's more so the people in your call don't have to rely on the lag via the game,
yeah,
or the stream. It's basically so they can have a lagless experience.
The other thing is getting the audio in my headphones. Granted, it doesn't really matter much to me for this stream and for Kingdom Hearts, since I've played the games so many times. I know what's going on. But, like, for
Doki Doki shouldn't be a problem considering it's PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way I've heard about it is getting an audio splitter, and right now that's a little bit of a hassle for me because I need to figure out like where that is and all this other stuff. God, these. I'm sorry, this hasn't aged well. This looks like a. This almost looks very like early PS2, like PC footage right here. It's made apparent when you put it on HD.
It looks like a Prince of Egypt sequel.
Yeah. Could be worse.
It could be worse.
Anybody hearing that echo?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
That was probably the motorcycle outside.
Okay.
I happen to my apartment building's right next to a highway.
But yeah, so we're back to this portion of the game. It's kind of weird. Like, I love the tutorial of this because it's pretty much you're a prince and you're raiding a kingdom, and it's all set in like real time. And then like this is what Persia would do. They would raid other kingdoms and they would get all the wealth for other people. And to be fair, the prince is kind of evil.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. But like the vizier is supposed to be the evil guy because he's the one who tells you to unleash the sands of time, and the sultan's just a fat fool.
Reminds me of
Straight out of
Yeah, I was gonna say straight out of Aladdin.
It does very much feel like Aladdin in a lot of respects, but I love that atmosphere. I think that's what really draw me to the game is the music and the atmosphere. Are very, very good, and I think that's what really set it apart. Like the art style at the time was really good. Like back in the day, this was top quality CG work, and I think some of it really holds up today. And there's a lot of things that haven't aged well. It still plays like a dream. It's still a smooth as hell game, and it still has a great story. Like, it's kind of about the prince realizing that he's a douche. Because it almost reminds me of Arslan. I don't know if anyone's watched the heroic legend of Arslan, but it's about a prince who realizes that his kingdom has been wrong for enslaving people this entire time, and he vows to change it. And this is kind of like that. Like, the prince realizes, oh yeah, I've kind of been a dick. And he has to right all the wrongs from the past. But the difference here is that everyone becomes sand zombies, and he has to stop this from. He basically has to stop this.
Zombies. Demon dated back well beforehand.
so much.
Oh yeah, the vizier is just like, hey, give me the dagger. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy. All right, I'm getting an echo from someone.
Yeah, I was hearing it too.
I don't know who it is.
Well, we'll figure it out.
The one thing I did notice is like the prince's or the head guard had plate mail basically, and he's wearing like basically leather armor or padded leather armor.
Yeah, like he's the one who's wearing the least amount of armor in the game. And as the game goes on, like I said in the last session, the armor like that he does have comes off, and that's how you know your progression throughout the game, which is an interesting system. But he ends up the game shirtless with scars on his like all over him. Realistic, but at the same time, like he should be dead many times over with how many scars he should have received by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like right now the enemies are easy. As I've shown in the last session, they kind of get harder as you go along because they're enemies that can block the sand retrieval move. But like I love the sand retrieval move so much.
Well, yeah, because you use so much of your time on it.
Yeah. Hey, Rodolphus, how's it going?
So did you see the Infinity War trailer?
Oh my god. That was like the highlight of this horrible week. That Infinity War trailer. Oh my god. It looks so good. It looks so damn amazing. I love the banter. Like, everyone's like, oh, if you don't like banter, you'll hate the movie. I'm like, dude, the trailer was hilarious. I love what they're doing with these characters. I love what they're doing with Spider-Man. Friggin' Doctor Strange is amazing in it. The poster, oh my god, the poster for this. Like, everything about this is amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people are already speculating that a lot of the Avengers are going to get killed off in this movie.
Well, it is Infinity War. Like, they can always come back to life. But my hope is that what they actually do with it is they bring some of the people who already died back to life. Like, I really want them to bring back Quicksilver. And I think that you can definitely explain that with you can explain that with the Infinity Gauntlet. And there's a couple things though that I'm wondering about. And like, first of all, they don't show Hawkeye in the poster or the trailer, and I'm not sure why, because he's in it. They also haven't shown any of the Netflix heroes, and I'm kind of wondering what role they play, because they have been confirmed to be in it. I'm speculating on a bunch of stuff. So, like, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on with this trailer, and I'm so excited, but I really would like to know more.
Yeah, from my guessing, because of the fact Hawkeye was on the side of Cap during the whole skirmish. I'm not saying the movie was Civil War. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that. The movie was not Civil War.
It was better than Civil War.
Well, I'm talking about the comic. I mean,
the comic kind of sucked.
Yeah, I will agree, but it still had its merits.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Like, the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe tend to take the stuff from like the Ultimate Universe and the other ideas and improve upon them and do them a little bit differently. So, like, I get that, like, it's not technically Civil War the way it was, in the comics and whatnot, but I liked it. I'm wondering what they're going to be doing with Rhodey, because from what they're showing him back in the armor, and I'm wondering if he's going to be swayed, like, if they're going to use the Infinity Gem to fix him.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a good thing about Infinity War is that,
or considering that he's fighting with the Wakandans, maybe they fix his spine.
Yeah, that too. Like,
don't we care about Hawkeye? No, we don't care about.
I mean, Hawkeye's a decent character.
He'll be in the next one.
I mean, they have the technology in Wakanda to stop a bullet wound. My other theory is that what if Wakanda is what actually saves Pietro's life? Because Quicksilver basically, like, he has the ability to fast heal, but the bullet is apparently what killed him. Now, what I'm wondering with that is, what if that just stops him from healing? What if they didn't have the technology to take out the bullet in regular, like, areas? What if they need to take that out in Wakanda, and if that's what heals him?
Is he even still? Was he mentioned at all?
He hasn't been mentioned since way back in Avengers 2. But I mean, they've been talking about Bucky. They've been talking about, like, a lot of other stuff.
Well, they don't have the rights for him.
Well, they
did just buy Marvel. They did just buy Fox.
Yes, they do now.
It's true. Yeah, there you go. Maybe they'll revive him that way.
That's one thing, because they had like a different version of Quicksilver in the X-Men movie series.
Maybe they'll gather the Dragon Balls. I don't know.
Oh, another thing that isn't in the poster: Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I know
they're there.
Oh, they're there.
Yeah, they're just really, really tiny.
Well, not only that, but they got their own solo movie coming out like later on this year.
But it's set after Infinity War, and I'm really looking to Ant-Man
Is
and the
it?
Wasp
Yeah.
myself. But
it's set after Infinity War.
So many of these.
Granted,
Okay,
um,
that makes sense.
a
But
lot
whatever.
of what they're saying in the film relates to Civil War, I'm thinking.
Is this Silver War?
Civil War. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't set anything. I wouldn't make a movie and set it after Infinity War, even if the movie does take place after Infinity War.
Well, it's like they said that the Captain Marvel movie is supposed to take place well before everything, and because that's
Right.
what was it? Nick Fury's the first goes to Captain Marvel first and talks to her first about the whole Avengers
thing.
initiative. Yeah.
It's see, the way I've started to see it is that you kind of have to like stop worrying about the timelines because it does get confusing. Like I've just
That's almost like comics.
Or Doctor Who.
I have come to the conclusion that it is best to just worry about things the way they are. With that being said, I can't agree with you, Ari. I love the original Ant-Man. I thought like it was fantastic. I love how snarky it was. I love his best friend. I love the Baskin Robbins jokes.
Oh god, yes.
Baskin Robbins always finds out, dude.
But I also love for the fact that in the Ant-Man movie, you saw Hank Pym being actually at Ant-Man. They actually did say he was Ant-Man for a time. But they actually said why he stopped doing it.
Yeah,
Instead of being
because
another version.
yeah, like they did a good job with setting up the old guard, which I really liked because too many times they have been. There are too many times in comics where I find that they ignore history and continuity. Okay, I thought I missed something for a second there. Sorry, but yeah, like I find a lot of times that like in movies and in other stuff, like they forego continuity, and it can work. But I want them to keep it, especially because these movies have been building up, and it just it's good to have that level of continuity. We've been waiting 10 years for Infinity War. 10 years. That is crazy, guys. I remember when Captain America first started playing in theaters, because like I didn't see the Hulk in theaters myself. I saw it after the fact. But like I was working at Dunkin' Donuts of all places when Captain America came out, and we had the Captain America promotion, which was all about we had the Captain America shirts, and we got to wear it during work. And like I hate Dunkin' Donuts working there, but that was like the best part. And then we went to see Captain America, and that was like the premiere of what everything was all about. And I'm just like, oh my god, I love it.
Okay, in all honesty, I mean, Captain America really isn't the first technical Marvel movie.
Well, the first technical Marvel movie, no. It started with the Hulk and then Iron Man.
Well, if you're wanting to go with the story universe, it's going to be Iron Man, because Hulk was never really part of the Marvel universe per se, because you have two different versions of Hulk, two different actors playing Hulk, and not only that, but
that's outside the film. That doesn't matter. It's still part of it.
It's more tangential.
Yeah.
It's more tangential because because of the ending scene with Ross and Tony.
Right. And then you have and then even still you could go all the way back to
the first Hulk.
Blade. No, I was going to say you can go all the way back to the Blade movie, which technically was a Marvel movie, but it was never part of the continuity.
Yeah, I guess so. But like that was the first time they started, basically like doing this as this is part of the universe. But I love how Captain America was a period piece.
Yeah, at least they kept that straight.
I'm a huge fan of like old school war movies. I loved Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull. I thought it was great.
Never trust an elf.
And like there was just a lot to love about the movie, and I just got hooked. I've seen every single one since then, and while there have been a couple that I was just okay about, like Thor, the original one was half of a good movie. And then I thought Iron Man 2, originally I wasn't a big fan of Iron Man 2, but I've started to like it more over the years. 3, I understand the problems, but I actually really do like it.
I don't. I hated 3. I hated it with passion. It was not that good. There was too many problems for me, and
for a comic book fan, I understand. But for me, I thought it was a great journey for Tony because it was a character study. I don't like that they took out the reactor. That was stupid.
That really ticked me off right there too.
And the destroying of the suits of armor and what they did with Pepper. Like, I will admit, it's not a very good movie, but I like the character stuff with Tony. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I wish they had in some of the other movies, because Tony in Phase 1 doesn't have a lot of character. Like, character arc is what I mean. Like, he is a jerk, and he stays that way.
Yes.
He's a drunken jerk who likes having fun. And yeah, it's enjoyable to a point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
It gets old.
It's by far not the worst Marvel movie.
No.
No.
The worst one would go to Daredevil.
I like Daredevil. I know it's stupid.
Just
but...
not the theatrical cut though. The theatrical cut was dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just Daredevil, I think, worked on some aspects, but dude, the Marvel, the Netflix version.
Oh, Netflix version kicks its ass.
Yeah, it's just like, I wasn't one of the ones who hated the original, but like watching that, yeah, wow, like it's night and day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the different versions of the Punisher movies.
I've never actually seen the Punisher movies.
Well, the only one I haven't seen is Warzone. But I saw the Dolph Lundgren one.
Yep, that was the 1980s.
Which is just random. It's just a generic 80s action film. That's it, you know?
Yeah.
And the Thomas Jane one, which was actually okay. It's pretty decent.
I think that one was more of a comic book directed.
Yeah. That one was a little bit more comic bookish than the Dolph Lundgren one, especially with the Kevin Nash sequence.
Yeah, although that was really cool.
Yeah.
I loved the Punisher in the Netflix series. Like, my problem is season 2 had Nomu in it and the Hand, and they started off interesting, but then they became kind of eh. But like,
yeah, the hand just became really boring.
And I don't understand why they brought back Nomu. Like, I get it, they wanted to do something with the stuff they were doing, like a superhero team they had to build for what's it called? It's not
Defenders.
like Defenders, yeah. Like, I get that they wanted to do that, and like it's fine, but like that part was the weakest part. I thought Elektra was okay. She had problems, but for the most part I liked her. But like Kingpin, still amazing. Punisher, best part of that. Like, there were so many good parts to their characters, and I felt like the rest of it was just hurt as a result, because when you have a character that's that good, and then it's overshadowed by the stuff with, like, Nomu, it's like, you could have cut that plot point.
Yeah, I mean, the actor who plays Frank in the TV series did it right after he finished his thing on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's a really good choice for the Punisher.
Yeah, I agree.
I like how they made him sympathetic, because they clearly don't glorify him. Like, he knows what he's doing is wrong. I like that. Like, I like that they acknowledge every angle of it, but they show his perspective so well. And it's just like, he knows he's doing something wrong, but he's like, he can't live knowing that the person who did this is still alive.
Yeah, I mean, he just his his character, even in the comics, started off being a vendetta hero, but then he became, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to keep going. Basically the same arc, almost like Batman. If you look at Bruce Wayne, if you compare Bruce Wayne to the Punisher, they're almost the same with the varying degrees that Batman doesn't use guns.
Yeah, and the thing with the Punisher is, like, in order to make him work, you have to justify why he's doing it. And there's a difference between stuff like Death Wish and this.
Which just Bruce Willis murdered fucks all the minorities that white people are scared of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, here's the thing. I don't like guns. I'm not a fan of guns. Whatever your stance on gun control, gun debate, or whatever, I just don't like them personally. I just don't like them because they make me afraid. Because I'm just I'm a simple white girl, and I don't like being shot at. And you know what? I probably have a less likely I'm less likely of being shot than most people. I understand that, but like I don't like that there's all this death. And you need guns for some things, but you can use guns to tell a story. And I think what they do well in the Netflix Punisher is they showcase the military side of it and how they can be used to protect somebody, and that's a side that we don't normally see. And it is true, like, guns can protect. They're not just a means of killing. AR-15s, on the other hand, yeah, they're just a means of killing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm one that's like, okay, I don't have a problem with guns. I understand the purpose of them. I understand, you should be trained on them if you're going to use them, but at least having the understanding, hey, there's consequences of using them if you use them in the wrong way. But I've always been one for, just give me a sword and or a knife. I'd rather just use that. I mean, that's just my perspective of it.
I think that if you should have other options, and bringing guns into like schools and other areas is never the answer.
No.
Jeff and I were having this talk earlier because there was a shooting at a mall near me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. Essentially, a man shot his ex-wife and tried to kill himself.
And that's where guns are part of the problem, a big problem. And it keeps happening in this country. And that, like, here's the thing. If you look at like places like Japan, which has banned guns outright, and you look at the gun violence there's barely any.
What gun violence?
Yeah. Like, we are the largest per capita for gun violence, and
how many gun deaths they have a year? 1.
And it's definitely not video games, because we have a ratings board for a reason. But yeah, I don't want to make this into a political discourse too much, but like that's just my stance. You're free to support guns as much as you want, and honestly, I have friends who hunt. I have friends who use guns as a hobby, and that, yeah, like I can understand like being a gun enthusiast, and because I'm kind of a sword enthusiast. I don't use my swords. I didn't study the blade.
I have a little working knowledge on how to use a blade. Okay, I'm self-taught, thankfully. But so
yeah, I took karate and I did get sword training, but like and I have a sword that's like not sharp, but it's just like
I've got a bunch, so
I understand it, but there's a difference between that and having a gun as a solution to everything.
As a penis extension.
Exactly. But anyway.
Well, yeah.
Okay, now let's get on different.
Prince of Persia.
So
Yes.
wow, Iron Fist sucked.
I haven't seen Iron Fist, but I keep hearing that Luke Cage and Iron Fist aren't that good.
Luke Cage is great. Iron Fist, no.
I watched the first couple episodes of Iron Fist, and I kind of liked it at first, and then I kind of stopped watching it.
I only saw Jessica Jones. I wasn't interested in any Iron Fist.
I love Jessica Jones. That's powerful,
Mhm.
but you have to be in the right mindset because it deals with
Yeah,
some
like-
shit.
Yeah, it will destroy you if you're not ready for it.
Mafia 2. I haven't played Mafia 2. Sorry, I've heard good
If I-
things.
If I was to watch Jessica Jones, I'd probably want to do it just to see David Tennant.
Oh, he's amazing.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Oh, of
in it.
course he is. I mean, come on, he was the 10th Doctor. I mean,
Mhm.
Dirk Duck.
Let's see.
Is it weird? Is it weird to anyone else that DuckTales seemed to kind of fall off the face of the earth for a bit there?
It is
Yeah.
weird to me because I was doing a podcast on the show, and then all of a sudden, where's the episodes?
yeah, because that was
Cartoon TV scheduling is the most infuriating thing to me. We need more Magiswords on TV. God damn it!
It's like they keep dicking it around. They did the same thing with Adventure Time. There was no episodes for like a long time. Same thing with Star. But here's the thing. DuckTales is super popular. Even me, who like I admittedly have some following on YouTube, like that's some of the most popular stuff that we have done. Immediately getting like 2,000 views, just on a minor channel. That's how big it was. Now, and then you have like all these episodes doing really, really well in terms of ratings, and then they dick it around in terms of they put the episodes out of order, and they there was just like a couple episodes that I thought were just not very good. Two episodes out of the rest, like where I feel that rushed character development, but that was mostly I think it was the network's problem mostly. But even then, like I was just like, okay, I like the show, and now it's just gone. And the last thing that they said,
It'll be back, I think.
the last thing that they said was they were preparing something for it and that it was going to be good. But that was January.
If you want more, I've got more. I put some
Yeah,
seasons on this.
We just don't know. And with shows like that and Magiswords and
Ready for
Steven
it?
Universe stuff, not knowing is painful. It's like I just want a clear answer from you.
Later,
you know?
Rodolphus. Yeah, I
mean,
would like a clear answer. I hear it might be because of David Tennant and his schedule, but like even then, why not record all his episodes prior to releasing half of the season?
yeah. And see, here's my biggest gripe when we talk about seasons and stuff. You get these shows where, oh, we're taking a mid-season break. Why are we doing these mid-season breaks? When I was growing up, we never had these whole, oh, we're taking a break right in the middle of the season so we can just show reruns and other stuff. I'm like, why?
Why? Also, why end a mid-season break on possibly the weakest episodes? Like that, I'm not counting the Christmas one because that was good, but they ended on like basically they waited to do the holiday like Halloween episodes after the season break, and they ended on an episode that should have been left. Like it was just the airing was so weird. I don't know. Like I'm not happy with how this was aired, and I'm not happy with how it was kind of dicked around, because if you pay attention to the Twitter of the producers of the show, like they were dicked around.
I mean, it's just like you get these shows that you love, and then it's like for me personally, okay, I love watching The Flash. I love that show to death. It's a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, oh, we're stopping for mid-season. I'm like what? Why? Even when I was watching The Walking Dead, they're like, oh, we're stopping for the mid-season finale. What? Why? Just keep showing the show. It's not worth stopping in the middle of the season just to do something else or show something else.
Do you not have enough money to do a full season?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's to promote more, people to come in and watch more. It's like,
Well,
just
the-
show it.
They also, I think, use that to play the reruns to get people caught up. Also, Also, I think like a lot of those episodes take time, and there's a lot of special effects, and people gotta, they gotta get the special effects down and everything, and I'm not saying it's not frustrating, but I'm saying like from a technical standpoint, I can understand wanting a little bit more time.
Yeah, I can as from an editor standpoint, yes, and
Yeah.
I think we all can understand that.
Yeah, but it's still it doesn't mean it doesn't still make it frustrating as heck.
Oh no, it's totally frustrating. I mean, but what can you do?
Yeah, nothing really. Fortunately. All right. See, I totally should have looked this up again, but I didn't. I'm just gonna wing it.
No, you got it in the wrong places. Because you see the symbols that are on with those power rods that you pulled out.
Yeah.
They gotta match up the symbols that are on for the gears.
Yeah. Let's see. I hate this puzzle so much. I looked it up last time, but it just like I want to get this done.
Yeah.
Alright, so which one haven't I got yet?
So are you hyped for God of War 4?
No, I'm kind of with Butterbuns on this one. I think it might. Here's the thing. I love God of War. I've gotten every single game, and I've beaten them 100%. I have all the platinums. I love the series to death, but I think that there is certainly something like genre fatigue, and I don't like what they're doing with part of it. Okay.
Well, they couldn't do anything else with the whole Greece storyline, so that's why they went to go, okay, well, now we're going to do the Norse mythology. Which I'm like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued.
What I really want from them is I want them to kill off Kratos. I want them to get rid of his character and make his son the focus.
I think that's what they're trying to do with this one. Because I think I think his son is a half god.
Because, like all Greek gods, he's got to get it wet.
Yeah. I mean, we all know Zeus was just a freaking horn dog.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say that every religion or every god in certain pantheons didn't have their own horn dog. I mean, but still.
Pretty sure every religion has some kind of thing with sexuality going for it.
Yeah.
Because in Asatru, Norse mythology, which is actually my religion, you have Freya, who is, yes, a war goddess, but she's also a goddess of love, goddess of fertility, blah, blah, blah. And she's like basically the Norse version of Aphrodite, in a sense.
I just I was fine with them doing other mythologies. I just want them to I want them to take some time to build a new character first, and I think that's fine. Like, I think going to new mythology should have been done in God of War 3 or afterwards, because there is a little bit of fatigue there. But
I think the only reason why they did 3 was just for a cash grab, and also they wanted to put Hercules in it, so they got Kevin Sorbo to come in and prize the role.
Really?
Of course they did.
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo is playing Hercules in God of War 3.
I did not know that. I never played the God of War series.
See, I liked Hercules in the other game.
Then he became a raging asshole, but that's beside the point.
Let's see. I'm trying to put some of these back because I definitely I picked something up in the wrong order. it's like I understand exactly what I need to do, but this puzzle system always gets me.
The only thing that kind of ticked me off about God of War 3 was like when you got to that fight scene with Hercules, Hera's there and he's like, "I'm gonna do this for you, mother." Like, wait a minute, what? Hera's supposed to hate you. Even in the Greek mythology, it's stated that Hera hates Hercules.
Yep.
Hera hates everybody. There we
Basically, yes.
go. Okay. And they didn't delve into a lot of stuff, like Zeus fucks everything with a pulse, and like
sometimes not even that.
He turns into an eagle and just like goes at it.
Like a goose, and and nails a. And I think that's how he got Hercules' mom. That he turned into a goose, and she just said, "Oh, it's a goose." Okay.
All right.
Oh no! It was. I think it might have been like, she thought he was. She thought he was her husband or something. I don't know.
Yeah. She thought he was her husband because he changed.
Okay.
Yeah,
he shapeshifted, and
yeah.
But I do know he once turned into a goose, and a woman actually had sex with him as a goose.
Yeah.
Point is, Greek mythology is a little bit fucked up.
Yeah.
But then again, so is all mythology. And here's the funny part: there's always like someone complaining about there's too much like. I remember back in the Hocus Pocus review that Nostalgia Critic did, he was complaining about like them talking about like virgin sacrifices and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's part of the culture. Like it's all these things are part of the religion.
Let's not talk about him.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Shit's going bad right now. That's all I'm saying.
I am aware. I'm just trying to make conversation.
True.
Not everything is a political discourse. I did it. And this time I didn't look it up.
Yay.
Fuck this puzzle.
Yay.
Yay. Give the girl a cookie.
Alright. Hold on 1 second, guys.
One.
Jeez. Okay. Ari, yes, I do have, I have a night mod or whatever, it's something like that. Basically it's a moderator, and I don't think it allows, like, too many, like, caps posts and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not a fun program, but it's usable for the most part.
Yeah, like, I just have it on because I don't have the energy or time to monitor the chat.
Yeah.
Well, you could make one of us mods for the chat.
I need to figure out how to do that.
Oh, well, that works too. Okay, so what's everybody's thoughts on what gameplay we did see of Mega Man 11, or the new Mega Man game that's coming out?
Looks pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I'm not allowing swearing in mods. Like, honestly, I don't want that in chat. I don't mind if you swear. I swear a lot, but I have that on just because.
Because I saw the gameplay of it, and I was like, okay, we're going back to basically Mega Man 8 art style, but it looks better. Okay, I can do that.
I can make you a mod, Ari. I need to get that set up. once I do get mod set up, that'll be good. What were you saying? What were you saying? Sorry, Max.
Talking about the new Mega Man game that was announced a while back.
Yeah, I haven't played any Mega Man games. Well, except for like a little bit of 1 and 2, but I only played it because my friend really loves Mega Man. Like he cosplays as Hardman, and he's really good at it. It's just I am not of the age to play Mega Man. Like it wasn't part of my time. I grew up with other games.
You can play it on here.
Yeah.
I could play it on stream.
Yeah, and
the only
one of us can help you with it.
the only one I've played personally, like on my own time without anyone like asking me to, was Mega Man X, and I loved X, but it's still it's hard.
Yeah, you'll be fine. The X series is great up until 5.
I love the Battle Network ones.
Battle Network is not bad. Those are kind of a strategy RPG.
That's why I loved about them. I love strategy RPGs.
From what I hear, Battle Network is good. Battle Transmission, not so much.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance ones were good.
Yeah. But also another thing too is the Battle Network series is basically a different timeline for the anime series.
It's the anime timeline.
No, actually, if you're looking at, I was referring to more of the actual Mega Man timeline in the game world. Because there was a choice that Dr. Light made and Wily made. It's either go down the path of robotics or focus on the internet. And the timeline that I grew up playing was, hey, we're going with the robots. The Battle Network series is if they went down the whole internet and the PET mode.
Yeah, and then Mega Man X is like the future where like the robots go Maverick and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that one continues on from the original Mega Man series. Yeah. But I still love it. The only one I don't really care for is from 5 on.
They could be circumvented by using
Like I hear good things about certain games. Like some people like 7, and some people really don't.
I like that.
Like it's a very split series, and it's one of those things where like I don't know enough. I liked 1 for what I played, but it was definitely very old school. And
Mega Man 1 is not good.
And I liked 2. I liked 2, but that was still very hard as well. It's like I like these games, but it's a very retro style of series, and
I'm absolute dog shit at them. So
retro games were made to be harder, so you could like
quarter suckers,
quarter suckers. And I understand that. I think that's fine, but it's harder for me to play them nowadays. And it's like I loved them back in the day. Like I loved Aladdin on Genesis, and I loved like stuff like that, where I played those games, I loved those games, but I'm bad at them, and they're hard simply because they wanted you to play the game more. When I really started getting into gaming, as in like owned my own consoles, played them regularly, it started in the PS2 era, because those were the games that started being a little bit easier and a little bit more accessible, because I owned a PS1, but a lot of the PS1 games had some of the similar problems, especially the platformers. Like, I had Rayman, and that game is hard as hell.
Other game is impossible.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know if you guys watch Kadikarus. Like, he went on about that game, and he does a fantastic job iterating just how hard that game was. But like even then, like Spyro, the original Spyro, I remember loving it to death, but I never could 100% that game, even though I'm a completionist, simply because it is built to be hard.
For me, a lot of these games that are coming out are easy for me because I grew up in the generation that had, I started playing with an Atari, and then when I was like 3 or 4, maybe 5, and then I got a Nintendo, and I just started playing games from there.
When I was a kid, the first game system I ever got was a Nintendo with the original Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Yep.
But the first game I ever played was Donkey Kong Country 2, and I have a story about this. I've told this before, but like I haven't done it on stream. Basically, when I was a kid, and several times as an adult, I don't know if I've grown out of this, but it hasn't appeared recently, I used to sleepwalk. And my parents were kind of wondering what was going on with it, because nobody understood what was going on, especially because there wasn't really like a lot going on no one really knew too much about it at the time, and they still didn't. It was just one of those things you grow out of, but it's like you're half awake and you don't really understand what's going on. and I went to a sleep study, and it didn't help anything. I still have some episodes sometimes where I'll sleepwalk, or I'll have what's called sleep paralysis, where you can't move and you know you're awake, but your body won't move. It's kind of a symptom of it, and I've had more of that recently because you don't sleepwalk as much when you get older. It's just sleep paralysis more common. But anyway, I was in a sleep study for it, and they hook up wires to your head, and they do all this stuff, and you have to sit there for a day or two, and it's stupid. Like, I did not have fun with that, but they had video games for people to play, so I played Donkey Kong Country 2 there. That was the first time I ever played a video game. I love Donkey Kong Country 2. It was still hard. I never beat it, but that was like one of my first games. Let's see. My cousin had a Sega, and I would play stuff over there, but that was hard. Like Sonic, the original Sonic is unnecessarily hard.
Well, I prefer the 3D Sonics to 2D Sonics anyway.
I love the 3D Sonics because I started mostly with Adventure 2 Battle.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But I can't deny that there are problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, like I really started getting hardcore in the PS2 era, and the two games that made me start getting hardcore into gaming were Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy X. I got them both the same Christmas. Like the year that they came out, I asked for Kingdom Hearts because I saw the trailer, and I'm like, if there was one game that I wanted, it was that. And it showed me like how good games could be and how accessible, and like it's hard if you want to make it hard, but it's not like overly complicated. And it was a game that I loved to death, and I still play it on stream. So yeah, that's my gaming history.
Yeah, my gaming history is basically I like I said, I grew up playing Nintendo. I got a Super Nintendo either the year it came out or the year after. But I always played every I had a Sega Genesis. I even had an Atari Jaguar. But I love my Super Nintendo. I really got into RPGs from the NES, playing the original Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 2. And then playing a lot of other games on the Super Nintendo, like Breath of Fire, which is still one of my favorite games. And then when I got the PlayStation series, I was like, okay, let's play these. And I got really into the action and platformers and even survival horror, which was really cool. And then there was and then my stepdad had brought me a PlayStation from Iraq because he went overseas over there, and brought me over a bunch of burned copies of games. So I had like the Japanese version of Mega Man 8, Street Fighter versus X-Men. I mean, I had like a stack of like Japanese import games that were copies. And I played a bunch of those before even they got out over here.
See, the only like PlayStation game that I really ever got into was Final Fantasy IX, because me and my friend would play that for hours. My friend got the game, and a lot of times he had games that I didn't have because they were too expensive, because allowance and not a job. But like, he had all the N64 games. He had a whole bunch of PS1 games that like I love to this day, because those were the ones that I got to play on my own time. And like stuff like Final Fantasy IX is a huge impact to me, because that was my introduction to Final Fantasy. But it was not the first one I owned, but we played together since it was co-op, and I had so much fun with 9. You could do so much with that game, and the fact that you can play the battles co-op, it just like really cemented that fact for us. It was pretty much our game, and I love it to this day.
Yeah, I actually have a funny story about Final Fantasy. One of my birthdays, my friend at the time had a copy of Final Fantasy VII, which to me is one of my favorites, and he gave
Never
it to
played
me.
it, actually.
You never played it?
No, I never had a PlayStation.
Oh. Well, he gave me his copy because he was like, "Oh yeah, this 3 doesn't work." I'm like, "Okay, cool, that's fine. I can play it." So my mom went ahead and took the disc, went in the back, cleaned it, and the game ran like a champ. And he was so pissed. He was like, "Dude, could I have it back?" And I was like, "Nope, you gave it to me. You can't have it back."
I have a similar experience with Final Fantasy VII.
In fairness, he should have tried that.
Yeah, he probably should have tried that. Like, that's the first thing that I usually do, is go to a game store. With Final Fantasy VII, I actually... God, my friend sold it to me, but it wasn't actually his. But, like, he said, oh, it just takes a while to get Disc 1 to work, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it out, because I loved 9.
Never finished 9. I don't think I finished a Final Fantasy game.
I finished a few of them. Like, my favorite is still, like, 9, but I love 10. I think 10-2 is underrated, but, like, I get the hate because it has its share of problems, like anything else.
I need to find a game for Casey to play on stream with, like, which Final Fantasy do you think? 10?
If it's on stream, 10 is probably the easiest.
Because she's never played any Final Fantasy.
Yeah, for a start, 10's actually pretty good. It has its share of problems, but like the difficulty curve is good, and it's a nice, simple place to start.
I'm not as angry as I was at the story anymore. I just laugh because it's so stupid.
I think a lot of it really does work, but then again, like, I understand, like, having father issues, so, like, yeah, like, I get it.
See, there's having father issues, and then there's Titus.
Well, his father literally tried to murder the world and is abusive as all hell.
That's true. Oh, that's true. I'm not saying it's not justified. I'm just saying the way they present it is hysterical.
Yeah, and in all honesty, a lot of the game, while I do like it, and I do like the level up system and everything, my biggest problem was, like, sometimes Titus felt like he was just out of place.
Oh yeah, well, he's supposed to.
That's why he had to keep saying it was his story, because it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, especially like when he did that laugh scene, it was just like,
That was
purposefully
that was
awkward. That, hold on, Kitty, stop.
Like,
stop.
One Let's Play I'd recommend watching is for that is by the Two Best Friends.
Shall I go on?
Here's the
Matt
thing.
Wally did an amazing job with that.
The whole idea behind that scene was that it was two people who didn't know how to laugh.
Yeah, it was supposed to be awkward.
It was supposed to be awkward.
But I'm talking about the whole game. It's like, the credo of the game is religion is bullshit.
That's the credo of every Final Fantasy.
more or less.
I mean, think about it. Like, every Final Fantasy, you try to kill God. And, like,
Yeah.
I think people don't give Final Fantasy X enough credit for its story. Like, I get it. There are problems. There are problems in every Final Fantasy, even the ones I love. But I think people don't give enough credit to the fact that, like, these are people who have gone through abuse and emotional issues, and of course they would be broken and awkward and not know how to react to things. Like, that's just the way they're raised. They're brought up this way, and it's not easy. It's not something that anyone can fix.
Sometimes it's silly.
It is silly.
And that's why we get kids to go off and save the world.
The only thing that bugs me about Final Fantasy X is the tone.
Tone? Is that like the whole religious stuff, or?
No, like the way it's presented, because serious scenes have comedy beats, and comedy beats stop. Like, it never has a consistent tone, and that's my problem.
Well, you do need some levity.
Some limity's fine, but I'm saying it never knows that balance, you know?
All right, Kitty, get down.
We all good now?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're fine. You might want to invest in getting some like wireless headset.
This is technically a wireless headset. It's just, you know, I have to hook it into my microphone. In order for it to work the way I want it to.
Well, alright then.
Anyway, so what were we saying?
Okay, so basically what I was saying was, while 10 has its issues, and yes, it has a lot of issues. But my major thing with it was just, like what he was saying, was just the tone of it, where you want to feel for these characters, but at the same time, you're like, why should I care? And it's like all these people are like, oh, hey, don't touch the Summoner. I'm her vassal. I'm not going to touch her in that way, but still.
I just love anytime they do that, they have the one bit where Titus, like I care, and just runs in. Titus is completely out of his element. Waka's a massive racist.
Yeah.
Like my favorite joke that the two best friends did in the playthrough. Waka, why does your job class say Grand Wizard?
Yeah. And then it's like, what was it? He stays like a racist until like after he gets to know.
He doesn't change.
Yeah, he freaking changes, and it's like, okay. I mean, that doesn't normally happen in real life, but cool.
No, it didn't happen in the game. He doesn't change.
All right. For those watching in the stream, first of all, thanks for putting up with my cat's bullshit. I am very, very sorry this stream. Like, this has been a good stream. It's just she keeps
Some people
crashing.
are here for the cat's bullshit.
Yeah.
I may not be able to, like, completely edit it out on YouTube, so whatever. Anyway,
okay.
Let's get back to the game.
You've played Final Fantasy X, correct?
Some of it.
I just went on a whole diatribe about how I love 10.
I think he means...
Well, yeah. Okay, so what's your take on Waka? Do you think he stayed a racist the whole time, or did he change his racist ways? Because I mean, he became friends with Riku. Or
I think he changed. I mean, have you not played 10 too?
I mean, I played 10
Not
too.
counting 10.
Why are you not counting 10 too?
Because we're talking about the story of 10.
But that's part of the story of 10.
Whatever.
It counts. I like 10 too. It's kind of stupid in a lot of ways, but the battle system is fantastic.
It actually reminds me a lot of the old school Final Fantasies, where like you could, change job classes and everything. And of course, there's a lot of fan service in that game too. Anyway.
Well, I think it's more fan service for people who are fans of Final Fantasy, and as a female myself, I kind of like the dress up aspect of it. The dress spheres are actually pretty fun.
Even though some of them were kind of broken.
Well, yeah, but that's some jobs are broken. Like the Lancer class, super broken.
Yeah. That goes without saying.
I should say the Dragoon. My bad. Anyway.
Yeah, the Dragoon class should have been handled better.
Alright, Farah. Here's what you gotta do. Stay up here, shoot them with your arrows. Don't come down with me this time. Okay? Okay.
You know that's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, she's gonna do that. Don't hit me with your arrows either, Farah. What's that? Hit you with my arrows? Okay.
I do what I want. I don't need no man.
Strong, independent woman.
Single female lawyer.
God. I miss that show so much.
I've decided that I will no longer be a single female lawyer.
I think there's too many episodes of Futurama that can be classified as a favorite.
Futurama is just a great show in general. It has so much good commentary, and I love Professor Farnsworth so much.
Good news, nobody.
Good news, everyone! I have died. I'm now a nobody.
How's that great news, Professor?
Because now we have Kingdom Hearts 3.
Do we?
Oh, and of course we had the overly sexualized Zap Brannigan, who tried to be like Captain Kirk.
Hi, I'm Captain Zep Brennigan of the Starship Enterprise. Kif, take note. I am suffering from sexlexia today.
Sexlexia.
The sexiest disease there is.
You felt so sorry for Kif.
Now what?
At times.
He can be his own problem. Sometimes.
If not always. I mean, the poor guy asks for it a lot of the time.
I mean, granted, he does suffer from abuse, and it is a clear case of him kind of becoming like eventually becoming an abuser himself, almost like being stuck in that victim mindset.
Yeah. Which isn't really good. But still. And then you look at Amy Wong, you're like, you're a klutz, but you haven't been klutzy in the last, I don't know, a couple seasons.
I thought Amy's entire thing was being rich. Like, she doesn't really have much character.
Her major character thing, yeah, she was rich, but another thing was she was the klutz. She was an Asian klutz. That was the thing with her. That was the joke they were going with. Well, not really. Well, yeah, she was Asian. I mean, she was Korean, but, well, she spoke Korean.
Yeah, really, just main thing was, when she got frustrated, she just cursing Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she had the whole thing with Kif, and then I don't know. I need to catch up on Futurama. I saw like all of the first and second season, but like after a while, like if you try to binge Futurama, it's not the easiest thing to binge. It's a great show, but like a lot of shows, when you binge watch it, you notice a lot of the flaws and how much they repeat stuff. Granted, my favorite show to binge is How I Met Your Mother, so...
I love that show so much.
Since I know you haven't seen a lot of The Simpsons, what you could do is you could watch along with the Talking Simpsons podcast.
I could. I've seen a few Simpsons episodes recently. Like I saw the St. Patrick's Day one, which was
the Prohibition. Yeah,
that was a fantastic one. And they showed me the steamed hams episode, so I finally get the goddamn reference. I don't enjoy the meme, but I understand it now. I mean, I think the joke from The Simpsons is fantastic, but it's like, out of context, that meme doesn't make sense.
It's kind of the point.
Well, it's the internet. We don't need to make sense.
I see, this is why I don't like memes and meme culture. Call me a stickler, call me a meanie or a jerk, whatever, but I don't like memes and the meme culture, and I find a large amount of them unfunny.
Well, I only have one thing to say to you, Zenith. And you want to know what that is?
What?
It's time to suit up.
I've already suited up.
No, what you're wearing is house clothes. You're not suited up. You don't have a tie. You're not wearing a shirt, the vest, and the jacket, and the overcoat. Come on now. We're gonna be. You have to dress like respectful people here and go to day bars and all that.
Ted, for once in your life, when I say suit up, I want you to actually suit up.
Suit up. Oh, I love that show so much.
Neil Patrick Harris made it because Ted was a douche.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, in all.
I remember loving him in the beginning of the show, but like as time goes on and the many times I've seen the show, I'm like, he creates all of his own problems.
Yeah, he does.
So he's a typical romantic sitcom protagonist.
Yeah. The funny thing is, in that show, it's a show my wife and I sit down and watch a lot, and we always make the joke that we are Marshall and Lily, and we would try to figure out who are on our friends or the other characters. And it was just because you find a show you like, you do that.
Don't you mean Narshall? Jed
Yes.
Mosley.
And not Ted. Stop that.
Okay,
Not Ted.
Swarley. Swarls Barkley.
Ay, Faye.
Swarley. No more Swarls. No more that.
I'll start the story from here this time.
No. My name's not Swarley.
I remember the episode where Marshall had to impress this one guy for environmental law firm that he wanted to be a part of, and he did the video that he found of what was it, two beer fisted man or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "Okay, I gotta go find the guy who did it." And what did he end up doing? Doing it again. But I also love the fact that in that show, I remember the cigarette episode. They were like, "Okay, whenever we say we're not gonna do it again, we end up doing it again."
I have a friend who's like that. He makes big sweeping declarations, and I'm like, actually keep with them, and then he doesn't. This is the same friend who told me today, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to a party with my kickboxing people. I'll text you, and he keeps wanting me to meet his kickboxing friends. So I'm like, okay, just he said he'll text me, and I waited, didn't hear back, and I texted him when I woke up. I'm like, what the hell? And he's like, oh, I decided not to go. I'm like, what? At least tell me.
Yeah, you could have said something. No, you had to be the douchebag.
Yeah, can't imagine what that's like.
Shut up. You know I'm busy 99.9% of the time.
Except
Yes.
for that 1%.
But here's the thing. I've been so busy trying to get my show to a decent schedule where I have two major videos, videos a month, and that's taken far much more time than I thought it would. Honestly, it's starting to become a thing where I'm like, I love making videos, and I love I love putting them out, but it's starting to become a little bit of a chore because it takes up all my time.
It's like a second job.
It is. It really is.
At a certain point, you got to pick one job.
Well, the thing is, I have a job, but that's to pay the bills. And I enjoy doing this more, which is why I wanted to stream more, because at least it's fun. It's something enjoyable.
And eventually you can make it your job.
Yeah, if I get enough followers.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to comment, subscribe, and follow to twitch.tv/Zenith Will Review. Not Zenith Will Rule.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Eventually you'll be able to join us out here.
You're a skinny little thing.
Eventually.
Yes, and you can join the insanity.
The biggest problem with also like was getting time off to go see you guys in California. That was not possible with my last job. So yeah.
Oh, well, maybe it's possible.
It is much more possible.
I'm still waiting for you to come visit me.
Yeah. The problem is I don't like Jersey.
I don't live in Jersey.
You live in... Well, didn't we go to the Jersey Shore when I saw you last?
No. The last time you saw me...
Oh, Virginia Beach. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. You were at Lynn Haven Mall, and I was like, oh my god, where are you? And I want to come see you. And you had already left there.
Yeah, my thing is I have to plan things. I have too many things going on. Like, it's one thing to want to do it, but it's another when I don't, like, have any plans going on, and then, like, everyone's like, oh, we need to film this thing right now, and I'm like, okay. Don't get into video reviews, guys. As soon as you start like doing it, then like you have so much work to do at conventions. And like I remember Con Bravo, I think it was 2 years ago or so. I was doing a whole bunch of filming. I didn't have any free time. And it's as much as I wanted to see people. And that's the thing, like, I love doing this. I love making videos. But I think streaming is a little bit less time consuming. Especially when it comes to that.
Yeah, remember when we went to MagFest?
Yeah. We spent the entire MagFest interviewing everyone.
Yeah, very little time doing what we actually wanted to do, which was like gaming and buying stuff and doing other things, and it was just like
And granted, it was worth it because that's what I became known for in the beginning, and that's how I met everyone at Channel Awesome, and that's how I like learned how to do this. But
yeah, and of course I'll never forget that one thing, the last interview we had that day with Todd and Shadows.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and what happened right after we finished it.
Yeah, he actually does have a face.
Yeah, we were like, holy crap.
But then also, like, that was how I met all you guys, because Rosen, I don't know if we met at MagFest or if, like, you had started to know me because of MagFest, but, like, immediately afterwards you started messaging me, and that's how, like, I got to know, like, Jeff and everybody. Like, I wouldn't know half of the people I do if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. Man. Good times.
Good times. Jeff, remember the time we I drove down to Florida?
Yeah, you drove down to Florida to come get me, and on the way up there, I think I was driving it was in the middle of the night, and I don't remember where it was, but it was like a kind of like a dark back road, and all of a sudden I could have swore there was like a kind of like a thing that just jumped out and hit the car, and we just kind of kept going. Well, no, it was like I guess it was kind of like an animal, maybe. It was too dark to see. No, it was like too dark to see, and we were already like, I think we were like kind of a little bit behind.
We were very tired because we had spent most of the time trying to find a gas station because we were low on gas, and in that area, I think it was like in the Carolinas or like below.
Yeah, and we picked like the emptiest, spookiest gas station there.
And like it was the weirdest thing, but we got gas. But, like, we were so tired, and we were listening to Bees in the Trap because that randomly came on.
No, it will never be as good. It will never be as good as walking 500 miles.
Bees in the Trap, like, that just randomly came on the radio, and we were all laughing our asses off, and we were so tired. It was so dark. We had just gotten gas, and then something. I think it was like a squirrel like hit us, and like that was. I don't think I'll ever drive that long again because I drove from Pennsylvania to Florida
Yeah.
and back to Maryland in one night, and
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
why we kind of had to switch off driving, but like it was. I think I should have just flew. Like, I don't mind driving in general. I drive to New York and to Pennsylvania and to other places all the time, but I did not realize how big this country was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's friggin' massive, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? It gave me a great memory, and that's how we became good friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I miss MagFest so much. It's gotten so crowded these days that it's hard to actually get in.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. It's like I was thinking about going to the Taiwan Comic Con because I know that's coming up soon. And I mean, it's kind of rinky-dink, but at least it's like still pretty cool to go to.
I see. I have Rhode Island Comic Con, but you know the problem that they had at the recent Horror Con was a Horror Hound, where they didn't have enough space for everybody. That happened at Rhode Island Comic Con a couple of years earlier, where they didn't have enough space for everybody to get in, so I stopped going. Rhode Island Comic Con is just too small. They don't, like, you have these massive draws, and people don't realize, oh, we need a huge convention center. And even Anime Boston is starting to get too big. The good thing about MagFest originally was that it got to be a huge ass hotel, but now it's hard even getting into a hotel.
Yeah, because it's like when I went to the Taiwan Comic Con, that was the same year that we had. Do you remember the show Too Human that was on Sci-Fi?
I've heard about it, yeah. Although it reminds me of the video game.
Yeah, the actor who was in it that played the werewolf, he was there, and Ernie Hudson was there. And it was like
Being Human.
No, Too Human. It was the show that was a drama, sci-fi supernatural horror show that was like you had a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost living in this house. It started off in Britain, and then it like came over here.
Yeah. That's it. It was called Being Human.
Oh, okay, yeah. I couldn't remember.
Because
no, that's okay.
Too Human is a video game, which that's another one to play on stream. I have a ton of games, guys. I have no shortage of things that we can stream. So.
Well, we have a convention in Jacksonville coming up. It's called Collective Con, and they've actually got a pretty decent guest base here. They got Brandon Routh. They got Johnny Young Bosch. They have, and it's weird because they originally were going to have the guy who played Steve from Stranger Things, but I guess there's like a scheduling conflict. So instead of him, they're going to have like the guy who played one of his buddies. So basically a character no one really gives a shit about.
Yeah. Oh, snap. I just looked up who's going to be at Taiwan Comic Con this year at where I live. We've got Matt Ryan, who plays Constantine.
Nice.
Gates McFadden, who played Beverly Crusher from Star Trek. We got Greg Cripes, who does the voice of Beast Boy and Michelangelo.
Nice.
We got Walter Jones, who played the original Black Ranger in the 1990s Power Rangers.
Nice.
That's kind of cool.
Sweet.
Of course, we got all the comic stuff. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. We actually got a decent amount this year coming.
Mm-hmm. I'm big into comics, but not as big as other things. There's some really big draws coming to some of the cons that I frequent. Like the voice actors going to Anime Boston are huge draws for me. Granted, like a lot of them are friends because like Chris Weecamp and like people like that are people I know from Dub Talk, who are like amazing people. But I just I haven't got to interact with them yet, and so it's like I'll finally get to see the people that I've been talking with online, maybe people who I interact with in my latest reviews, and that's actually pretty fun. Because I love making anime reviews. They're so fun to do, and they're so much easier to edit than game reviews because I don't have to sift through 200 gigabytes of data of footage.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had so much fun making my last 2 anime reviews. Danganronpa has been a huge ass project, and I've been having so much fun doing it, except for the fact that it takes forever to do because of the file size.
Well, we have another convention that comes up here. It's in November. It's like a wintertime one. It's November 2nd to the 4th. It's called NekoCon.
I've heard of NekoCon.
Yeah, it's like I was looking at it for this year. Like on Thursday, November 2nd, they actually have a Action Arcade presents head-to-head Donkey Kong Country race.
Interesting.
So, it starts Thursday night, but some of these events are pretty cool, but they're still adding more because, like I said, it's not until November. We only have like one guest and one musical guest right now. But I've been thinking about going to this one because it's close.
Yeah, close is always better. Like Anime Boston's super close. Even though we have a hotel room, like it's something that is like an hour away, which I think is fine.
Yeah. Because right now the only confirmed guest they've got is Tara Jane Sands, who's done 50 characters on the original Pokemon series. She was also Biscuit in Hunter x Hunter, Mokuba in Yu-Gi-Oh, Carl in Digimon.
Shut up, Mokuba. Seal all the exits.
And I'm just like, okay, well that's kind of cool. But I remember there's one Comic-Con my wife took me to that I will forever be in my memory because it was so special. It was a one-day thing we did. We went all the way up to Richmond for the Richmond Comic-Con. And the only reason we got the tickets and we went was because Bruce Campbell was going to be there.
Groovy.
And I actually have a picture that they sold, and I got it, and I got him to autograph it.
I like Bruce Campbell. I haven't seen Evil Dead myself, but he seems like a nice guy.
Wait, whoa. Hold the phone. You have not seen the Evil Dead movies?
No.
God damn it.
We need to fix that. We seriously need to fix this.
Yep.
I own all 3 movies. I still need to get the newest one from the remake.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Watch out for snakes.
I am sick and tired of these mother snakes on this. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, because I need to go back and finish watching the rest of Ash vs. Evil Dead. But you need to watch the Evil Dead series. Granted, the first one's kind of really hookish, but the second one and the third one are a little bit better.
Yeah, first one's low budget and it shows, but
but it's still good.
I think that's probably what they were going for, from what I understand. But
they actually raised the money themselves, and of course going to little old ladies, of course, to get the money so they could do the movie. But yeah, it was still
kind of like a Mad Max situation where they wanted to make something and they just had a passion project,
Yeah, basically all it was, because it was just Sam Raimi, his brother, and Bruce that wanted to do this, and then a lot of the people that were in the movie in the original first one were all close and best friends with everybody. So, and there were times where some of them did actually get hurt because a lot of them did their own stunts.
Yeah. I think some of them got hurt, got sick.
Yeah. And because originally they were trying to do the memory serves, because it's been a while since I've watched some of the audio stuff, but the house was supposed to be in Tennessee or something like that, but it was actually filmed in West Virginia, I think it was.
Yeah.
But still, it was like, okay, cool. But there was so much stuff that Sam wanted to do in the series. But it was like when they finally started doing Ash vs. Evil Dead, Sam Raimi did the first episode. But he even stated that he couldn't put in the third movie as canonical because he didn't have the rights to that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the rights to the first two, but not the last one, which really kind of upsetted him because he wanted to have that for the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially explaining, the robot hand.
Yeah. I mean, they made mention of it, like, of the third movie, like in the past season. They just did, not this season, but they did it in last season.
Yeah, and I think, if I understand correctly, they actually upgraded the robot hand.
Yeah, because in the original, when the show started, it was just a wooden hand, and then, like right afterwards, Pablo went ahead and made the mechanical hand.
Nice.
But I still love the show. I need to go back and watch it, and I was so glad when they got
Lucy Lawless.
Thank you. When they got her to come in and play one of the main antagonists, and I'm like, okay, cool. I like seeing Antologus and Xena together in a show again. I was like, I'm happy.
Yep.
Damn sand beetles.
I hate sand. It's coarse and gets everywhere.
Okay. So here's the interesting part. We actually caught up to our previous stream now, which is good. We're past where we left off last time, so we can actually move forward. But
progress.
What's that?
It has nothing to do with marketing. God, I've been watching too much Masako stuff.
I do enjoy his stuff. I just haven't seen a lot of it lately. But that's because I've been like watching a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I like watching Masako stuff mostly because of the fact it's funny, and I love watching his What If Week stuff.
He does a good job, certainly.
Oh yeah, because he had one storyline going of what if Reddit was good, and I actually like it. It's actually a plausible story that I wish was actually made true because it was a good story. There's so much potential with it.
All right.
I mean, you see villains going from being bad to good. Why not?
Yeah. Is that where the Caulifla stuff comes in, or I don't know. I've never seen Super, so I don't.
Okay, Khalifa is Khalifa is in Super, but she's in like an alternate dimension type thing, universe I should say, where like the Saiyan races has actually evolved and they're still, battle hungry and everything, but they just moved beyond the whole tail thing and everything.
Interesting.
And Vegeta actually takes one of the Saiyans and trains him and actually starts liking him, even though he's acting like, Vegeta.
Well, yeah, it's Vegeta.
But Goku was like, "Hey, I want to come to your universe and check it out and see how the Saiyans of your world, act." Of course, Vegeta's like,
"Of course."
Yeah, and of course Vegeta's just like, yeah, and Vegeta's just like, "Well, I just want to go there and rule it," but go teach everyone. Yeah.
Classic Vegeta. Yeah. I am the Prince of all Saiyans. God damn it, Kakarot. You have to rule this people. Together we could rule this world like father and son.
We're not father and son.
Shut up. God damn it, Nappa.
I mean, rule it like lovers.
I don't love you, Vegeta.
Sure you do, Kakarot. I've seen the way you fight me.
Kakarot, Vegeta, I think you might be taking it in the wrong direction.
That's what she said.
I saw that actually reminds me. I saw a post on Facebook where somebody took a couple pictures, and one was like of Bulma getting attacked, and she was like, "Vegeta, come save me!" And he's laying on the ground sleeping. He's like, "What do you want, woman? No, leave me alone. I'm sleeping." She goes, "Then no sex tonight." And he's like, "What? I'm coming right now."
And that's what he said.
Yeah. You're like, okay, that's kind of funny. Oh man, it's hard to find good shows that actually have like decent comedy and action and everything in one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I watch anime.
Oh yeah,
Because anime just goes with it. Like, yeah, there is some bad anime, but I mean, we have One Punch Man,
yes.
and then we have Yuri on Ice, which is just amazing. And gay, but like
I'll stop
that's
the story from here.
kind of what I want, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's like I've been reading, like manga-wise, I've been reading Assassination School.
The Classroom.
Yeah, Classroom, sorry. But I'm like actually pretty far in it now. Like they just hit the second semester.
Okay. See, I watched both seasons. I reviewed the first one, but like I've seen both, and the second season is a gut punch. I cried so much during that season. Oh my god.
Okay, well, I haven't gotten to that point yet in the comics or the manga, so.
I'm not
And then-
spoiling anything. I'm just saying, yeah.
Because another one I'm reading also it's kind of a Korean manga, but it's called the Video Gamer, or the Gamer, excuse me, the Gamer, and it's like, okay, the world is got these certain people that have supernatural abilities, but here's the thing, every one of them has special abilities depending on like their personality. So this one guy, well, he's a gamer. So his powers basically come in the form of an RPG gaming setup. He can look at levels, he can look at his own stats and everything else.
It sounds like fun. I mean, it seems better than Gamers. God knows I hate that show.
Yeah, and the thing of it is like when he first found out about it, he put all his points into strength, thinking, "Oh, I can be super strong and everything." And then he realized, "Oh crap, I'm doing something wrong." And then he's like, as he's going through it, he's like, I don't like being the one that goes up and fights somebody. I like being one that does it from a distance. So I'm gonna put everything into freaking intelligence and become a magic user. I'm like, okay, that kind of works.
Works for me.
But he found out that it's like he can learn any skills from like skill books and just go, touch it. He can learn the skill, but the book disappears.
Interesting. Sorry, I'm not paying as much attention because this jump is being weird.
Oh, you're fine.
But yeah, that does sound interesting.
Yeah, because like when he was with his friend, who, like his friend's family is like martial artists. They kind of take him in and kind of help him out. And he's like, "Do you mind if this book disappears?" And they're like, "No, it's fine. It's copies. Go ahead." So he learns like a lot of their abilities, and he's just like, they're like, "Wow, okay. Well, let's see you use them." He uses them, and you're like, "Oh crap, okay."
By the way, Ari, make me something good, please. I need a cook. That bread you made the other day looked delicious. Why are there so many birds? Is this like a Persian version of the birds?
Oh god. The Birds. That was a good movie. Both the original and the remake wasn't too bad.
What?
Okay. Like, I couldn't hear anybody. What was going on?
No, just sometimes the jumps in this game are a little bit awkward.
Could be worse.
Okay. All right, almost done. And then we're gonna go down to the cage. Oh, you're making apple risotto? What is this, Food Wars? Make me some, please.
It was like a couple days ago. Or no, last weekend. I made brownies, so.
Now I'm thinking of Drake and Josh. You brownies.
So my wife was like, well, since I know you can do this, you got to make me a cake on my birthday. I'm like, okay. I don't mind.
If I knew how to make a cake, I would. Let's see.
Just follow the recipes. That's all you can do.
Let's see, do I think I just run? Yeah, I run along the wall. Okay. There we go. Now where are we? Oh, sand beetles. Why? I've had it with this motherfucking sand beetles. Farrah, stop shooting me. The worst AI in video games right there. I'm just gonna shoot you with an arrow.
I know you don't play Monster Hunter, but I so wish I had a PlayStation 4 so I can.
I want to play Monster Hunter World. It's just the problem I've always had with Monster Hunter is that, like, I played, I think, the 3DS version, and it's just so complicated in how they do the builds and stuff.
They streamlined everything in World.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same problem I have with Civilization. Love it. Far too complicated for me.
Yeah.
Far too complicated. But I really do love it. I want to play more.
Yeah, I mean, if you play World, you'll probably have a lot easier time with it because, like I said, it's all streamlined. It's a lot easier. They made it so that way both veterans vets like me who've played the game since the beginning can still play it and enjoy it, but it's also, they made it noob friendly. Like super noob friendly.
Okay, interesting.
But
it may be a good place to start.
Yeah, I mean, they say if you've never played a Monster Hunter before, you can start off with this one and be in the good. So
we're at this point of the game. People with whip chains. They don't pose much of a threat. I mean, they don't block my sand absorb, so what's the point?
But one thing I will warn you about is you'll notice that some people will have like certain nicknames for certain monsters. Like there's a kind of an in-game-ish monster called Devil Joe, but everybody just calls him Pickles.
Okay.
Because he looks like a giant pickle with dragon breath.
Okay. And there's a second area. Ah, there you are.
There was one in like the earlier Monster Hunters that my friend and I came up with. It's a white wyvern that actually has no eyes. It's just a mouth that stretches, or his head stretches, neck stretches basically. And when he hangs upside down, he opens his mouth and white droplets come out of it. So my friend and I just looked at him and said, "Oh look, it's Dickie." Because he almost looks like a freaking, well,
A dick.
you get the, yeah, and the red version of him is even worse.
So it's basically Mala from Persona.
Yeah. And you're just like, okay. That's
a thing.
Okay, I'm back. Still going?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still going.
I'm gonna
We're
be
just
going
talking
for
about-
a while because I want to get a good long stream in. Try to, check for followers.
Yeah, we're just talking about monster penises and Monster Hunter.
No, you were. I wasn't.
You were adding to the conversation. Technically, that means you were talking about it.
Whatever. Gosh.
You don't do the Valley Girl good enough, okay? So don't go there.
Don't go there, girlfriend. Mm-hmm.
Look, girl, I will bitch slap you into next Thursday.
All right, so yeah, it's almost time to get the second sword in the game finally.
Woohoo!
Yeah, the interesting thing about this game, which they change in all the other games and I don't like, as you progress, you get better swords and they become permanent upgrades. They actually mean something because you can defeat enemies faster. And I'm just like, that's really, really cool. In the late game, like the final sword destroys enemies in like a single hit. And I'm like, well, they don't do that in Warrior Within, which they really should, because like, I think, is that the one where they had weapons breaking? I think that's it.
Yeah.
Weapons breaking is never a good mechanic.
Well, it's like I was gonna say, in Monster Hunter, the weapons don't break; they just lose their sharpness. Because like the highest they go in the game is blue sharpness.
All right, so we have to go like through this entire rigmarole to go around. But the chief thing is we need a stone to use that ladder, and we can't do that until we solve some puzzles in the next room. So it's kind of like one big fetch quest.
Yeah.
In this part. Okay.
Okay. So what's the one RPG game that you've always seen that you wanted to try, but when you actually got it in your hands, you were like, why did I want to play this?
One RPG game. Let's think. That's actually a really good question. Come on. Let me finish wall jumping and then I'll answer it.
Okay, it's fine. Gives you time to think.
Because the wall jumping mechanic sometimes works, sometimes doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's Star Ocean. I remember liking till the end of time, but it was just like, it wasn't like really my cup of tea. Like it wasn't bad. It was just okay. Oh, I already missed it. Crap.
What about the rest of you guys?
For me, I think that was probably Aquaman, Fight for Atlantis. Yeah, I saw it at a rental store when I had the GameCube, and I saw it as like, oh, cool, they made an Aquaman game. And then going through it, I was like, this sucks. And yeah, it was pretty bad.
I need to get some health. This part is so stupid. Swinging log traps, and then you have to do wall jumping with a crack in the wall in the middle, and it's timed. Why is this timed?
Oh, hey, that log, pushed you a little bit forward.
I think for me, the one I couldn't really get into was, I hate to say it, was like kind of a lot of those RPGs that like Fable, I couldn't get into. I tried.
I have the same experience with Fable. I can agree with that because I think part of it is like it's an interesting concept, an interesting world, but it's a lot like Fallout to me, where like I want to get into it, but there's just something about it that I don't quite enjoy. I don't know what it is, but there's something that just doesn't sit quite right with me.
I know for me, what's not sitting quite right with me is the whole multi-dialogue. You got to say the right things and do the right, it's just not really for me.
That didn't happen.
I don't mind having the multi-dialogue, but it's still like, why?
All right, we're going to try this again. I hate this puzzle so much. it's like, because it's very unclear when the thing resets. You gotta like wait if you miss it, and I'm just like, you need to get it like first shot.
Yeah.
Some of these are fine, but then there's this one, and no.
I mean, it's like, I love Doom. I will play the heck out of Doom. I need to go back and play it, but I want to get... There's like a certain item I want to get, but in order for me to get it, I need the money for the CPU for it.
Okay,
why
isn't this...
What?
Is there something I'm missing here? Because this...
You need something to hold that switch down.
Yeah, I need something to hold the switch down. This is a weird puzzle. It's been so long since I've been in this section. I'm just like, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I grew up playing Doom. I love Doom. Oh god, I could sit there and start over again, just like okay, let's play, let's have fun, let's kill things.
I've never played Doom, but oh, that's what I need. Farrah, go through the crack. There we go. It's a good thing I have co-hosts, otherwise I'd be lost with this.
Doom.
But yeah, I haven't played Doom. My friends and I played Serious Sam, which is actually, it's really good, but it's just not quite my cup of tea. I like it, but I can't say it's quite my favorite game. I had a lot of fun, but it's like...
Did you turn the blood into flowers or hippie? Then it gets kind of funny.
Nah, but we played the Serious Sam, like I'm not sure if it's the BFE edition or whatever. It's like the special edition, and
yeah.
I had fun with it. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy and it's weird and it's glitchy, but I like it. Let's see. We played a bunch of Borderlands. Borderlands is a lot of fun.
Oh god, I love Borderlands. I want to stream Borderlands the pre-sequel, but I want to get some friends to play it with me. So
yeah, I do want to stream that. I need somebody to play the pre-sequel with me because I haven't fully finished the pre-sequel in terms of like trophies. I got the platinum, but there's a couple things that I want to do.
I can play it with you. I've got it on my Steam account.
Do you have the physical edition? Because I wanna. I have the PS3 and PS4 versions.
I only have the PS3 version, and I've actually completed that one. Well, I didn't like complete it all the way, but because there's all that multiplayer stuff
And the DLC.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the DLC for pre-sequel. Like, I was fine with the DLC up until like that point. Granted, the DLC for Borderlands 1 is bullcrap. It is the worst DLC for like 2 of them, and I 100%ed that shit. Like it is not fun to 100%.
I'm still missing DLC for the second game.
I got the second game. Some of that's fun. Some of that is just a slog, but it's just like the stuff with the super bosses. Sometimes it's fun, but I think Borderlands 2 made it better because you could like.
Yes, I'm gonna head out for a while. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, okay.
All right, see ya.
I mean, it's like I love 2. 2 is still my favorite. I mean, but I do like the pre-sequel. It's not bad.
2 just made it a lot more fun to replay because even if you're having difficulty with like stuff like Forest Sidious, you could like do multiple playthroughs and get the awesome points. And at a certain point, the awesome points just like make you into a badass. So yeah. I had a lot of fun with friends. None of these games are balanced for a single player.
Yeah, because remember when you and I played Borderlands 1 for a while on the PS3. We had so much fun. We got like stuck on so many things so many times.
Oh god, I remember that playthrough with Quarks and Telrin. That was back when I was first starting to try to stream. And, like, streaming is something that is not simple to figure out. Especially if you, like me, you didn't have, a good internet connection. Like, but this place I sprung for an internet connection that was like really good.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I can hook up my my PS3 again and dust off the controllers and charge them up and play some Pre-Sequel with you, because I know most of the secrets and I know most of some of the stuff to get. I even know some of the references they make. The only thing I don't know how to do is like how to achieve some of the stuff. Like there's a laser gun you can get in the game, but you have to have your badass points level has to be over 50 in order to get it.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, the gun is kind of like crap, but you just want it just because it's collective purposes.
Speaking of which, speaking of Borderlands, has there been any news of Borderlands 3?
No, there hasn't been any. Like 2K Games has not said anything about it yet. Everybody's still waiting for more information about it. I think right now, if anything, it's probably if it's not still in development right now, I think the biggest thing is everybody's just wondering if the game is actually gonna still happen, because if you remember, the Pre-Sequel was actually made in Australia, and it had nothing to do with the original cast or the original people.
It was very badly received.
Yeah,
and
so a lot.
Like, I want it to happen, but I understand why some people might not, because like the Pre-Sequels was not well received, and their latest two projects have been kind of poorly received.
Well, the Tales games actually were doing really well, and they're actually supposed to lead into Borderlands 3, because all the stuff that happened in those the Telltale games are actually now canon.
Yeah, and the Tales from the Borderlands was fantastic, and then we had like all of a sudden it just dropped off the face of the earth, and and then the Pre-Sequel ended on that cliffhanger, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, because the Pre-Sequel is basically it's supposed to run into like, okay, here's the introduction of 3, now you're caught up and ready for the story of 3, and you're just like, okay, great. When are we getting 3 again?
Yeah, like they haven't said anything about 3 because their Overwatch clone. Well, it wasn't supposed to be an Overwatch clone, Battleborn.
Yeah,
it didn't do well.
Yeah, I mean, it's still fun, but
like basically it didn't sell, and trying to think what I need to do, because I know there's something specific. Oh yeah, I have to jump to the column.
Right. I mean, it's like I still enjoy a lot of certain other games that were clones of others, but there's certain games that I wish actually finished being developed.
Yeah.
Case in point, there was supposed to be another Legacy of Kain game that was supposed to be, complete. That was almost finished. That would have come out. That was going to continue the storyline with a different protagonist, but it was going to tie in with the other games, and it got canceled like when they were like 85 to almost 90% done. And I was like, what? No, I want this game. I want to play it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because like there's so many good games that like we should have, but we don't get, unfortunately. And I wish that like more games would be given a chance instead of given the Ubisoft treatment.
Oh god, yes.
Or like the EA treatment.
EA lost the contract with Disney.
Well, yeah, because they butchered the game. It's microtransaction city.
Yeah. I mean, Fallout. Not Fallout. Far Cry 5 came out and said, yes, there is microtransactions, but they're just for cosmetics. It's not. There's nothing in there saying you have to have it.
Ah, damn it.
It's just for cosmetics.
Yeah, but even still, I am of the opinion, like, yeah, just cosmetics is fine. if you don't have to pay for it, because I like Overwatch, and I think that it's fine because we're not actively paying for the loot boxes and whatnot, and it's cosmetic. But Jim Sterling is right. It does have a certain effect on your mindset of the addiction of needing to have everything. And completionists can understand this because I've bought DLC for games that I did not finish simply because, like, the DLC sucks so much, but they have my money. Nothing I can do.
Yeah. I mean, but then you run into those rare instances where the DLC is actually good.
Yeah, it really depends. Like, I've had some games where the DLC is fantastic, but then there's the infamous example. And
you might want to turn around because you passed a breakable wall.
Yeah, but I don't think you can break it without the new sword.
Oh, okay.
Let me just check.
With when I played, when I got Darksiders 2, I got it with the DLC. Well, at least the first couple pieces of DLC. I mean, I eventually got all of it, but it was so much fun playing it. I was just like, okay, I can't wait to play more.
There are certain games that can do really good with DLC, and there are certain games that can't. And it really takes a certain mindset when you go into DLC. I've had some games where the DLC campaign actually really improves the story and gives you more to do.
Yeah.
And in that case, like, yeah, like, I'm 100% for that. The biggest example is Asura's Wrath. Asura's Wrath is a game that was segmented, and the real ending was deleted, taken out of the game, and resold as DLC. And you wouldn't know this if you played the game normally, but it's the actual ending of the game. And it matters because, like, it's the conclusion of everyone's story.
Yeah.
And like, people will miss out on it and miss out on the actual twist of the game, which is really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own thing with DLC because I'm always like, I'm on the mindset that, okay, if you're gonna have DLC, either already have it on the disc and make it unlockable as playable progression, or even if you're gonna, sell it, make it only like a couple bucks here and there. Don't charge like $30 or $40 for a game that you already spent $60 on.
It either has to be free to play, or you have to have a pricing for that works for the game.
Yeah. Or, I mean, if you're gonna do like if you're like, let's take Call of Duty for example. Okay, you know yourself that game is littered with freaking DLC out the yin yang for guns, skins, and everything else.
Yeah.
You get the game and you're like you're playing it for fun, but then at the same time you're like, okay, well, I want that skin. That skin's cool. But then it's like that skin's like $10.
Yeah, I never bought skins myself because I never saw the point unless they were unlockables. And unlockables and stuff like Jack and Daxter was fun.
Oh, yeah. That made it worth playing the game. I mean, DLCs like that should have already been on the game disc and just made it as an unlockable.
Okay.
Not something that's like, oh, I want this, but I gotta pay for it. Why? I already spent $60 on this game. Why am I paying for this DLC that really should have just been on an unlockable or a treasure to find?
Why are you nickel and diming me, like, for the stuff that should be in the game?
Yeah, because that means I've only paid $60 for 20% of the game, and I have to pay another $200 to get the rest of the game.
Exactly.
Why? It's stupid. It's poor management. It's piss poor game design.
It's bad customer service.
Well, that too.
All right. Close to getting the new sword. I forgot how long some of these sections were, and granted they're segmented nicely because you can always go back to a save point, and the combat sections have save points, but it's like the middle of this game is a lot of you have to do this to unlock this to progress through the game, because the sword that we're getting right now breaks through walls, and that's the feature of the sword. So we can't progress to where we need to go until we go back to the previous section to get the sword, to go back to the previous section that we're just at.
And also it does a little bit more damage too.
It does more damage, which is also good. Like, if there's one thing I will praise this game for, it's the progression visually, and you feel more badass as the game goes on.
Yeah. So here's my thing. It was like when EA came out with Battlefront 1, you could buy the regular game and just unlock everything, or you just buy like this special oh my god edition and just get everything already unlocked right then and there. Why?
I don't that makes the point of unlocking moot. Like, if you unlock everything right from the get-go, why should I play the game?
Yeah, you're killing the experience of the game. And the feel of like, oh, I finally accomplished this. Yay!
So I want to save the game. Something glowing up there. So it's still only about 33% of the game. It's weird, for like that first like third, it goes by really fast, and then the progress meter goes up fast, but once we hit the zoo, the progress meter goes slow. Maybe it's based on the sections, like the areas of the game, because we've been in the same section for a while. I do know the game's only about 10 hours for full completion. But
yeah, because actually it took me about 2 days to play through the game and beat it originally when it came out for the PS2 originally.
It's like God of War 1, where I beat that game in one session, 100% with everything. And it's possible. It's just there's a lot of content in the game.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I remember there being an argument a while back about games being too short, and how long games should be. Like, what's the perfect length for games? And I think I think the best thing to do for games is it needs to be as long. It needs to have a good pace. Like, it's as long as it needs to be. If a game can keep my attention for 10 hours but still have enough content to satisfy me, then I'm fine, because God of War was short and still insanely fun.
Yeah, because it's like you want a game that's you want something that's gonna be length, but you don't want it to be something that's like when you finally beat it, you're like, okay, why did I waste my time playing this?
Or have a game be like 4 hours, but it doesn't feel like the content is worth it. And that's the thing. Like, I remember I played a game, one of the first games I ever reviewed, called Contrast, and I think it's a great story. It's a good game, but it's only 4 hours, and it feels short.
Yeah. It was like when I first played, what was it? Infamous 1. I played that, and it was like, okay, here's a game where you have electrical powers, and you can do good or evil. And when I played the first game and beat it, I was just like, well, this was a great game, but it wasn't really that long. I mean, to me, it didn't feel that long, but I felt like I got a lot accomplished.
Yeah,
it's a tricky balance. And
it had replay value because you could play twice for each morality. And granted, morality systems in games are a little bit iffy. Some games I think do it better with choice. I think Kingdom Hearts, in terms of choice, is a better example. It's not a morality system, but the replay value in Kingdom Hearts is so good because there's so much choice in each section of the game. It really depends.
Yeah, because it's like there's like mini games, like I said earlier, Fable was one of those that you can choose to either be good or bad. And it's like, okay, well, cool. But at least with this one, with Infamous, it was, okay, yeah, you're playing good guy. Okay, so here's all the dialogue that happens when you're doing good stuff. Cool.
Now
But
here's
now I
all the
wanna play evil.
dialogue when you're bad.
Exactly. And it was the same thing with the second one. I kind of wish they had that kind of set up for Prototype.
Yeah, Prototype was. I'm still working on that game. Like, here's the thing. I love Infamous 1, but looking back, the style doesn't hold up, and there's a few other problems I have with the game. I thought 2 was a step back in many ways, a step forward in some, but like it felt like a step back. Prototype almost felt like a Prototype Infamous.
Yeah, and the second and Prototype 2 was actually better, in my opinion.
I've never played Prototype 2. I was working through the 100% of Prototype, and that back then I was still not very good at the game. But then again, like, this was during my college days, so a lot of it is, okay, how did I feel at the time? Oh, this is where we can unlock the Sands of Time. Not the Sands of Time, that we can unlock the Prince of Persia original game in this section.
Yeah. Because it was like, what was it? When I played the first one, when I started playing the first one, I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm liking this. And I play it like a normal, hey, I'm a hero. But then when I get to the second one, you're like, oh, well, the main character was a villain. Eh? But it wasn't Alex's fault.
They wanted... I think they really wanted an anti-hero like structure.
Yeah, I mean, anti-hero games are great. I love them. They're one of my favorites. Like, case in point, the Legacy of Kain series. I love that series. That's still one of my favorite game series. Yes, they haven't held up well in time, but I love the story. I love the voice acting. I love everything you do in the game. I would be all for someone to do a remake or an upgrade to that game series, provided they can get all the voice actors back and can get the rights back for the original first game.
I have the first game. I need to actually play it. It was on my list a while back, and then I got sidetracked. I have too many games, and I There are ones that I want to play for certain reasons. Like, I started Kingdom Hearts because Kingdom Hearts 3 showed the trailer. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to do that now and not wait for it.
Yeah.
But, I have Lunar, the Silver Star story. I want to get through all the Xenogears and Xenoblade trilogy. There's a lot of things that I'm just waiting for the right time, I think. I will get to them.
Yeah, I will warn you right now. The rest of the Legacy of Kain series is way different than the first one, and the biggest problem you're going to have with the first one is not really knowing where everything is, the top-down perspective, and the loading. Those are the biggest things you're going to have an issue with. Because it's the loading. Because you got to remember, Legacy of Kain 1 came out on the original PlayStation 1, and that was back in the day before they got to the whole, hey, let's just load everything straight from the disc. Don't stop and load. Let's just keep loading the game and going. This game it's still very load heavy. From when you want to go to, when you're going in and out of buildings or you're going into your menu, it's very load heavy.
Ah, I see. I mean, I don't really mind long load times. If the actual gameplay is fine, or if it doesn't happen too often, but I'll have to see myself. All right, now I'm gonna try to figure out. I know there's a secret. Right?
Yeah.
You can. in the original game, I think it's one of these walls. You had to do something.
I'm gonna step out, guys. You guys take care.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah,
See
I'm gonna
ya.
have to step out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to step out in a little while because I'm gonna have to get some sleep. But I know, like this, like from Soul Reaver on, it's all like third person mode. You know, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit more of a platformer RPG or action RPG type thing. But the first one was like you appreciate what they were trying to do and understand what they were trying to do, while at the same time hating it for other reasons.
All right, I'm gonna look up to see how to unlock this because it's been a long time,
Shall I go on?
and I think I'm gonna save at the next save point and then call it for tonight. But so far this has been a great session. I just want to figure out if that's even in this game.
It should be.
Let's see.
Oh, Ninja Scroll. Okay, that's what's on.
Okay, unlock. Start a new game and while on the balcony of Farrah's room. Okay, so okay, it's not where it was before, I guess. It could be I'm just misremembering it because I do remember that there was something in that wall, but whatever. Let us continue on to the next save point and finish this up. I gotta move this for Farrah.
Look, a crack.
Wait for her. Okay.
Here I am. Can you make it?
Don't step off that switch.
All right.
You made it.
Of course, I can't move while she's climbing the ladder for no reason.
No, of course.
Good job, Farrah. Looks like we have some enemies to take care of, so there's going to be a save point here somewhere. Ow. I think we're in the church? I'm not sure. Who's next? Oh, we have hook hand guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're gonna be fun.
Yeah, like I think they're called butchers or whatever. Like they aren't that bad. The only bad ones are these guards that you can't like run over, and you got to use the wall move. Okay. It looks like we have more people. Okay.
Oh crap! I didn't know that.
What?
Have you seen the Black Panther movie?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You remember the scene where Claw was talking to the Shield agent?
Yeah.
Apparently, they've worked together before.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna double check this in a minute. That the actor who played the Claw was also the voice actor who did Schmeagol, because
Oh
we
yeah,
already know
yeah. It was Frodo and
Schmeagol. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was like, huh. I didn't realize it until I saw the picture. I was like, huh.
Yeah,
nice.
there's a meme going around about that.
Oh yeah, did you see the new Mountain Dew that's just come out?
I heard. Well, what new Mountain Dew? Because I heard about Sonic with their new flavor, but not Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's like with its whole pickle juice slush. No, Mountain Dew came out with one called Ice. It's basically a clear Sprite version of Mountain Dew.
Vanilla Ice?
We could not be that unfortunate.
It'll be cool as ice. All right, this is. I'm gonna save this and then we'll stop here because we got
Cool.
pretty far.
And some of us want some sleep.
Well, I work nights, so
I know you work nights. You're a night owl.
oh, these guys. Oh, I forgot you can block this. I never use the block move because I'm always just dodging.
Yeah, blocking does help.
Done.
I did find out something kind of interesting not too long ago. I don't know if you know this, but did you know that Samuel L. Jackson used to have a stutter? Or actually, it has a stutter.
Oh, is that like is his stutter in the Kingsman like his actual stutter?
Yes.
Oh wow, we're 43% of the way through the game, so we're almost halfway done.
Yeah. It's a he struggled with it throughout his youth, and he's learned to
I'll stop
pretend
here next time.
to be other people who don't stutter. Eventually, he realized he realized that he's never had trouble with his favorite word,
Shall I go?
motherfucker. So he says to himself every day, even if it's only under his breath, to help him improve his speech.
That's really cool. All right, guys. For the YouTube people, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next stream. For everyone who showed up to the stream, thank you so much. We're going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure what time yet. I'm going to work that out, but we're going to be streaming Kingdom Hearts since I'm not going to start up Final Fantasy XIV just yet. It's going to start soon, but right now we are about halfway or almost halfway through Prince of Persia. When we're done with that, we're going to do Sands of Time, but that won't be till next week. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Zenith Warrior. This is my good friend Max. And next time we will be playing more of the game, and hopefully I will have my cat under control. I apologize profusely because, like, she's been weird. Like, initially I didn't let my cat even into my streams because I was afraid she would, like, attack stuff. But then, like, when I moved to the new place, she was fine, and she actually didn't attack stuff when I was streaming or recording. Now she's asking for attention, and I don't get it. But I apologize. We'll take care of that, and I might figure out something for next time. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see ya.
Hey, this is Megami33. Thank you for watching Zenith Will Review. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome videos. If you like what you see, check out the Patreon page at patreon.com/ZenithWillReview.